Hello and welcome to RCG Racing. Yes, I know this is a different bike than we usually do. Normally we've got a Coleman 200. This is a hand-me-down from my son John. He ended up getting a CT100 Coleman that he likes better, so we've decided to phase this from the Redneck Computer Geek channel to drag racing. It is a Oryxearth right directly off of Amazon with a built hard on it, which is again right directly off of Amazon. Everything on this bike for upgrades is all Amazon. Even the piece of plate we made a video doing an extension with is off of Amazon. On that note, this built hard engine is okay as a just sit and run engine, but we have a bunch of parts for building out that Duramax with electric start that's got a brand spanking new starter on it, and I would like to be able to pop that in there for this racing season, so we're going to be swapping that over at another time. But this video has to do with brakes. Mainly, the moment we upgraded horsepower, that thing became useless. So we're going to hydraulic brakes. I'll post a link for this kit down below, but the big selling point to this kit, besides the fact it's hydraulic, which means it's stronger, is that this is the upgraded version of the Caliper that has a retaining clip made out of spring steel in it, because the non-retaining clip version is known to drop the pucks right out once they start to wear down. So, you want to have that safety. Does it suck to put it back together and swap pucks and everything? Yes, but it's worth it in the end. Now, our big thing is that we already measured out that this is going to make it, even with the extension, all the way to there. But our current problem is that this has got to come off of here. Now, I could just cut it and be done with it. But John wants this for his bicycle, so that means we got to see if we can get this thing off. We're going to heat it up all the way around with the torch. Now, is trying to save a $20 set of grips really worth it? No, not really, but we're going to try. Yeah, I'm thinking these are glued. This might be a destroy it to take it off scenario. Well, it turns out I do not have a spare set of black grips. I have a spare set of very ugly blue grips, which we might go for. I've decided to get hateful with a cheap screwdriver and trying not to slip through and stab myself. That's why I'm off to the side. And see if I can manage to get it to break free. Screwdriver out. Maybe I'll decide to come loose. Yeah, I've destroyed the grip. Something's definitely still holding the end of it. Why am I doing this? I don't know. This is not worth it. A waste of time. I just ripped the end of this stupid thing. Why am I doing this? Why? Because I know somebody down in the comment section is going to say how easy it is to do. There it goes. Yeah, I think there was some... Yeah, there's some sort of glue on the inside of that about halfway down. So they did factory glue the stupid thing. Yeah, you can see it right there on the handle. Alright, we'll get that undone. Now the key point to this kit is supposedly it is supposed to be bolt-on. So we've got our two bolts that we took out of there. We've got this we're going to confirm is the same thread. And, yep, same thread. So now... Usually in most caliper mounting, usually that goes up so that you can get air out of it. which would mean it would mount like this, but that's not working because it's hitting. So I'm a little confused currently on what's going on. I can safely say at this point I have figured out why, when you buy one of these kits on Amazon, a $20 hydraulic brake installation kit shows up. As you can see, that is fine, but that actually needs to be there for this to line up. That's why I've put the mark on it, because that mark needs to be pointed towards the center of that axle. That means that this bracket has to flip. But on this Oryxearth, that bracket is actually a welded part with spacers and stuff. So, I think where we're at is I undo this, I push it back through, we drop the bracket, we cut that piece off, we 180 the bracket, we tack weld it back on, and then test and see if it fits, just to take it back apart and fully weld it again. Now this part comes out and goes in like this. And if we come over to the light and we look at this, it looks as if this end piece is just some sort of ground down dowel that pressed in with a couple of spot welds. So I'm betting we can knock those loose and then take this, grind it off, flip it to the other side of that hole, weld it back on, and that might actually work. It's a lot of effort. I don't know if that's worth a $20 kit off Amazon effort, but let's try it. That didn't work out on video. Oh, wait, maybe it did. There, that came out. Now I just got to find the bracket. There it is. Okay, now we cut that off with the bandsaw. We cut out the 2 spot welds that were holding that. Now we just got to flip it all around, press it together, and weld it. Bolt-on kit, they said. Be easy, they said. I painted it. It did actually bolt up. The problem is it didn't actually line up where the pad is supposed to be on the rotor. So I had to grind out all of this, then I had to grind down there with a burr bit. And now if we push that all the way down in, we're almost lining up with the axle. Before, this was aimed like over there. I'm going to call that good enough. But yeah, that handle better be bolt on. I grabbed myself some generic Prestone DOT3, but it turns out it's actually got fluid in it already. So if I push that down, we can see it pump. And it actually whoa, okay. Well, I guess we'll put the cap back on after we fill it back up and see what happens. Now let's be honest, right now I've got this kind of haphazardly mounted on here, but I wanted you to see just how much extra play there was. If you had a stock location set up, there would be more than enough here. The engine's getting swapped out, the handlebars are getting swapped out. I haven't quite decided whether I like the seat or not yet. I'm switching to a thumb throttle on this when I do that for the handlebars. So I haven't bothered to really plant this thing yet, because all of that's coming apart. Otherwise than that, thank you very much for watching this video, for seeing the reality of the stupidity I had to deal with on a bolt-on kit from Amazon. I'll post a link down below for the kit along with the supposed helper kit in case you don't feel like cutting and welding and doing what I did to make the onboard mount work. Otherwise than that, I hope this helped you, and give me a like if it does. Have a good day.